All right, my name is Aaron. You all know me from the channel Don't Go Alone Just to Get Along. I have this lovely young lady here right beside, to my left, you're right. I don't want to spend too much time talking. I'm going to let her introduce herself. But she have a phenomenal just story, if you will, and I wanted to share it because I feel like a lot of people experience this on a consistent basis, especially as they travel to and fro throughout the countries, especially in the times that we're in now. And I want her to relive some of the experiences that she had just here recently, and hopefully it can help others and give others insight on things they should consider and what to do, when to travel, and things of that nature. So without further ado, I'm gonna let you jump into it, say who you are. Yeah. The floor is yours, young lady.
Okay, so my name is Audrey. I'm from the UK. I'm of Caribbean origins. I have 5 children, and I have travelled to Dar with my 5 children. I came over in September last year, and it's been an experience. It's been an experience, I have to say. Wow. So, and then I went back to the UK in December. And I didn't even know if I was going to get back to the UK because all the African countries were going on the red list at that time, and I didn't know. I didn't know if Tanzania was going to go on the red list, and that meant that you'd have to quarantine in a hotel. And with 5 children, that was going to cost about £10,000. So what's that? I don't know. Is that about $20,000? $18,000? I don't know. But
I know y'all fortunate enough, y'all money go a little longer than ours.
Well,
so.
maybe that's the case, but I was just not prepared to spend that money to get back to the UK. I was not that desperate. And I think you were asking me about how I felt about going back. Well, I was stressed about going back, not because of the red list thing, but my health took a turn for the worse, and I think it was because I was just really anxious about going back. I was anxious about going back for the winter. I was anxious about all the things that I had to sort out, and just having to lug all the children and pack out my flat, pack my stuff, take it to my friends. There was a lot to do, 5 children's worth, and then when you come to a country, you actually accumulate loads more stuff. So, even down to making coconut milk. You buy a whole machine, a contraption to do that.
Okay.
So, I had all these different pieces of equipment and stuff that I had to lug across from Mikocheni down to Mbezi Beach, and it was a lot to do. And then not knowing what was going to happen with going back, and actually feeling a little bit of just anxiety about what it was going to be like to get back into the country, and that was playing on my mind. I was thinking, oh my gosh, am I going to be able to come back?
Now let's pause on that. Let's stick and stay, if I may say, on that topic in and of itself, or that specific point. I don't want you to reconjure any anxiety, but by the same token, when you say anxiety, what was it like? Was it sleepless nights? Was it just, the indecisiveness? Was it a little bit of both or more? Tell me, what are the things that created, outside of what you just emphasized in respect to, I don't know if I'm going to go, if I'm going to make it, be able to get back the red list and things of that nature, but were there any other things that were really playing a part that you want to elaborate on? I think you've done a good job of touching on some things, but...
Okay, so I guess the anxiety kind of manifested in sickness, in the sense that my health took a turn for the worse before I left. So I had a massive swollen gland, and it was affecting how I appeared. I wasn't feeling it myself. I had a really bad sore throat. I'm not a wimp, right? At all, by any means. My last baby was 12 pounds. I had him at home. So I am not a wimp at all when it comes to pain. But I've never had a sore throat like that before, and I was literally chewing ginger to try and get rid of that. And so I had sleepless nights, because every time I would wake up in the morning, someone would be sending me another ping. There's another country that's gone on the red list. Ping, the UK government are saying blah blah blah. So I was not sleeping very well. I was stressed. And I think it came out in my health. And I was just kind of very indecisive. Like, should I go? Should I stay? Then I was like, okay, if the situation takes a turn for the worse, then I will stay. I have to stay, and that's not a problem. I can extend my stay. Maybe not so in that flat. I didn't know because there were some issues, but it wasn't a big deal. I mean, I could have stayed. It just would have meant that I would have missed out on my grandmother's birthday. She shares it with my daughter, and that was one of the reasons I really wanted to get back. But there was a whole load of things I felt that was thrown at me at that time, and I was thinking it's not even wise really to travel sick as I did. But yeah, of course, like I didn't know if I was going to be able to come back without, I hadn't taken any numbers of people like to enable me to get back smoothly, if you know what I mean. And yeah, so I didn't know.
That was a great segue into basically my next question, and you essentially answered it by emphasizing that, it's that getting back element. That getting there, just being transparent, we know if, sugar hit the fan, as some may say, that basically you have certain, basically rights via the country that you're from, that they will get you back there.
Yeah.
But it's a reason why we left, right? So with that being said, you just emphasize how things were on your way there. If you will, touch on, were some of those things also playing its part or even heightened while you were there, or were you so concerned just nurturing yourself back to health that was almost like a after thought at that point?
Wow, there were so many things when I got back there that I was like, I had so much to do. The children wanted to see their friends. I had the cold. I had the lack of vibrancy. I had so many feelings like, oh my gosh, I actually really miss like Tanzania. The people, the vibrancy out here. Like, I was just like, wow. And then I was supposed to come back in January, but I was so sick when I was over there, I couldn't even come back. And then it felt like, well, maybe I'll never get back because, like once you've had a goal and you've missed, like you've sort of moved the goalposts, then it becomes a bit more like, well, should we go back? Because, it's been longer, and would it be the same? Like, there was all these like thoughts going through my mind, like, my children are so happy here now in the UK. Should I uproot them and come back? But then in the back of my mind, I was like, I've got a lot of stuff at my friend's house. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, I want to see my things again.
Okay.
And then I was like, yeah, but the sunshine and there were so many things. I was like, I do need to go back, but the way to get there, the packing, the sorting, the trying to remember everything that you need to take, the buying of things, and then on top of it, because I'm just like I'm a sucker for like a hard life.
Oh, so, really?
Yeah. So
say it ain't true.
Someone said, oh, is anyone coming back from the West? Can they bring me some things? I was like, oh yeah, I'll do that. Things turned into like a whole suitcase worth of stuff.
Oh my goodness.
And it was fine, because if she might even see this video, so I'm not complaining, right? But the issue I had was like, I had some saucepans I wanted to bring and things, and my suitcases that I'd ordered hadn't come, so I had to just like say, okay, I can't take that because I had a suitcase full of stuff. It's fine. And so many people were like, why do you even do that? You shouldn't do that. You should know. Don't ever tell people you're coming back. I'm like, but that's not who I am.
Yeah, I get like, you. I feel you on that.
And like another thing, I know we're going off center now.
No, the floor is literally yours. Take your time. I think these are very relevant points.
Someone was asking me to buy some children's clothes. I went to the shop and I bought some children's clothes from Primark, which I don't know, you probably don't have Primark. It's like a really cheap store. Okay. And they were on sale, so it wasn't much money to spend to buy their clothes. And the child is like 3 and the sister is 6. So anyway, I'm buying all these clothes. You wouldn't guess what I did. I left my own son's like t-shirts and shorts back in the UK, and I'm like, oh, I'm giving you these clothes, but I could actually do them myself. But anyway, it's fine. So there's like a lot of things to remember, and then before you even get to like the paperwork and stuff to get back. Like that's like a day, like trying to sort that
That's
out.
a whole thing in and of itself.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly. Like you making sure that your documents and numbers are like everything is crossed to the T. You know exactly what's happening. Like you have to be on point. And even like thinking about all these things was putting me off because I'm like, that's a whole, like you need a secretary to do that kind of stuff because it's a lot, and you're managing the children, you're having to keep them entertained, cook, clean. Like I was like, my life over here in the UK was hard because you have to do all that yourself unless you've got mega bucks or mega, you know, that like loads of money to be able to afford people out there, because it's not like over here. Like you've got a dada, you've got two dadas, whatever. You've got people doing all that stuff for you. You have more free time. Like look, I have free time now because I've got two dadas at home. You know.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
I have not had to cook, clean, or do laundry at all, and that just gives me more free time. And so I kept on trying to remind myself of the reasons why I'm better off over here, and I don't have to worry about COVID nonsense. I'm not worrying about masks. I am not worrying about doing my laundry. There are so many things I'm not worrying about. I can go into a taxi or a bus and like no one's gonna look at me because I'm not wearing anything. Like you know, coming back. So eventually, once I did like muster up all the energy to get back and, you know, to get myself into that mood and pack and do that stuff, because I procrastinate, so I leave everything to last minute, so it becomes like an even bigger task. And don't forget, I was doing a research proposal at the same time.
You told me that.
My gosh, I was up every morning at 3 a.m. Doing that proposal.
Oh my
and
goodness.
then like doing the packing, doing the lists and all that stuff. So
my friend was sick. On the brink of, I'm not going to say the deathbed, but I mean, for all intents and purposes, you heard what she said.
I did not eat for days.
Didn't eat for days. Like she said, she was chewing on what's known affectionately as Tangawizi here, but ginger. She was chewing on ginger, you know, and all the things that she was still doing in regards to for her friends and family members on some limited resources in terms of having solid connections to make sure her transition is seamless as possible. You know, just in listening to you, it has to be a lot of will, just like it has to be with anything that you want to accomplish personally in life. And I knew this would be a good video for the fact that so many people deal with the fact, especially in times such as this, because would it be fair to say that if nothing was going on, let's just say since the end of 2019, it's still running presently, that we probably wouldn't be having this conversation with. So that plays the main factor. And I know a lot of people still think of those things, and some people feel like they have essentially missed the boat, if you will. Like they've missed their time to exit. But where there's a will, there's a way. I'm telling you. I mean, like, there are things that can be done that I'll just say that can be done. You know, if you really want to get it done, it can be done. Go ahead. I see you got some things to say.
I was going to say, like, some people might be saying, like, oh, well, I'm a single parent, I've got baby daddy issues, and I've got this. I've been there. Like, trust me, I've been there. I have that. I had that issue. It took me 9 months to navigate that. I had all that legal wranglings and stuff, and I didn't see that it was ever gonna, like the first time when I came around, I'm talking about, I was supposed to come to Tanzania in February, so what was a year ago, like 2021.
Okay.
That's when I was supposed to be here.
Wow.
But I couldn't bring my eldest, and as a result, I stayed behind, and I didn't see a light at the end of that tunnel. I didn't think I was going to get here because of the how it was going, how it was playing out. So it sorted itself out. I'm not going to go into too much detail because it's just
right. It's personal, and it's not necessary. You guys get the gist.
But I'm just saying that, you know, it's not jammy. Like, you know, some people were like, oh, but it's okay for her to say, no, I had those issues as well. Like, and it sorted itself out. And then we were all able to get here together. It just took 9 months, and then I came in September last year. So
she opened with herself and 5 children. You know, some people don't have any children. I'm not throwing shots. I'm just saying, again, there's a will, there's a way. And really, I'm uplifting her at the same, because I commend her for, I mean, I heard the excitement in her voice when she got back. We talked a little before she went. I can relate. I'm going to be very transparent. This is the first time I've even ever spoken on camera about this. I can relate to what it feels like. I've been here since the summer of 2021. And I was actually had all intentions to leave at the end of September of 2021. I was returning because I found out real fast and like, oh, this feels like home. I like it here. But there were a lot of anxiety that just built up in me, and as each passing day came, it was just more and more to the point that I really wasn't able to really properly deal with it. I will say that. Now, I am one that speaks emphatically on the universe will work things out, but I feel like I had a part of the manifestation of me missing my plane. I'm just being transparent. I mean, I have a Bajaji driver that's essentially like a taxi driver. Just saw him ironically just a few moments ago prior to doing that video. But I say those things to simply say this, is that he got sick. He never gets sick. He's always on time. He's always, prompt and looking out for us. He actually felt like he was so much he was sick to the point that he was essentially in the house, shut down for about a day or so. He still made it, but I didn't make it in time to get everything I needed to do. Now, with all that being said, I was the happiest guy that you'll ever find to miss a flight in that moment, because that's how much I didn't want to leave to begin with. But this time this time when I do make that decision to make a run or do what I need to do, I'll be more at peace about it, and I already know that things will work out the way they're supposed to work out. But because of how I experienced it, how we shared some things before she left the first time, I felt like, man, this is something that people want to know. People always say, give us the raw, give us the great content, give us something that, we don't see on a day-to-day basis, but we know people are going to have to experience this. And I want everyone to be helped out by a situation and a story and a testimony such as this, so they'll know that, like, look, I can do this. I have testimonies of people who have actually pressed through, gone through scenarios where it's no different than myself. I just have to know exactly I just have to be willing to put one foot in front of the other. So I'm so glad that she took the time to, share this, because, as they say, story sells. And this type of story, I hope it sell a lot of people on, their lifelong dreams, or even if it's just a more recent thing that they wanted to tap into, that they move forward, they do what's impressed upon their heart. It's not too late to take action, and I can't emphasize enough, if there's a will, there is a way, just like you, but you can't be scary in this time, and you do have to take your proper, I don't want to say precautions, but you do want to be more in sync in terms of with self, and make sure you're hearing the right thing, because we know what type of times we're living in. But with all those things being said, you got to put one step in front first, so I mean, I think I missed a couple things. I went a little longer personally than I wanted to just now. I'm turning to myself talking, because I try to let you do as much talking as possible. But I know it's something. I mean, she has a son that, not to get personal, but she even dealt with some things where she had to get everybody on board. Think about it. Some people, all you have is yourself. You don't. I mean,
I think that's true actually, because to come back now, he said, like, actually, there was one point in the 3 months that we were here that he was like, actually, I'm okay being here. I'm fine. And I remember I texted you and I was like, oh my gosh, he said this. But then he promptly changed his mind. And so when we got back to the UK, he's like, yeah, I'm going to stay. And I was like, okay, okay, if you're going to stay, you stay. But I said, you're not going to just sit here and do nothing. You're going to have to contribute. You're going to have to get a job. You can't just loaf around and just expect somebody to pay your way. So when he heard that, I said I was adamant that he was going to get a job, because I said, look, at 16, I was working, I was cleaning, I was cleaning things. I was doing jobs like this, actually in a department store. I was in the kitchen, I had to put dishwashers on, hard stuff, yeah. And they were telling me you can't eat any food. Imagine you're around food all day and you can't eat it. And I said, look, I think it was 15 I was working. So why can't you? And once he heard that, he goes, you know what, I'm going to come back with you.
Wow.
And I'm going to do my studies. And I was like, that's fine. So long as if you come back with me, you're going to do some A-levels, because those are your UK qualifications that even if it's AS level, just do that so that you've got that to fall back on. Because he wants to do his SATs to go to the States. That's a whole nother ball game. But I was just like, so long as you do your exams and stuff, I'm cool with you coming back. That's not a problem. Like, I'm about that. But yeah, it was a bit weird because I don't want to travel without my children. That's like, for me, I don't want to, there's no man down. Like, we all have to come together. Obviously, he's going to turn 18 and he's going to carve out his own path, and I'll accept that. I don't know whether it means I'm going to be staying here or I'm going to still have a base here and I can go and come. And I want to go, if he is in the States, maybe I want to be over in Mexico for a bit. I don't know. If I get this this funded PhD, maybe I will be.
Right.
It would touch base on Tanzania, Mexico, and I'd probably have to spend some time in the UK. So let's see what happens. I'm open. I'm open to whatever is coming.
But yeah, I just, again, I can't express enough. Like, I mean, I admire you in terms of the action that you took in gathering your family unit on board. I mean, and making a move as such. And even as I say that, you know what? I'm proud of a lot of the sisters that have made that move, because let it be known that a lot of sisters that have made this move have come with their children by themselves. I can't even get some of you brothers to come by yourself. And a lot of, they come with their children, to a foreign land. Don't get it twisted. English is not the primary language here. You gotta learn the native language and just everything else that comes with that type of move. And it was just more about my excitement for you and the family unit, and then knowing that so many people, they go through this, but I never really hear a lot. And I know I went through it, and I know it's just something that I think if we have that witness and watch other people walk it out, maybe that'll give people the inspiration to do the same.
I think that our melanated brothers and sisters, we've got something within us that just is, I don't know, there's a hard, enduring spirit. I think anyone is capable of doing what we've done.
Say it again for the people in the back.
Anybody is capable of doing what we've done. It's not,
Wow.
You just have to put one foot in front of the other, and if you are doubting something, seek guidance and help. I remained prayed up before I came, and I felt like this is where I was being led to come. So, and as a result, I've made some great friendships, and I cannot imagine, like, my life in the UK is so dull and boring compared to here.
Wow.
So I can't imagine now going back and staying there the rest of my life.
It ain't coach. I'm telling you, these are raw feelings. You just have to experience
my
it
bones
for
have
yourself.
to be here, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I never felt like that. Remember I was saying I didn't come over here for no Pan-Africanism. Like, I was on a journey anyway, finding out who I was, who the people of the Bible are, and stuff like that. That was like a few years back. But I didn't come here because I was like, I need to be in the motherland. No, I didn't. I came here for the reasons that you were talking about, like 2019 reasons onwards. But now I'm here, I'm like, I don't belong over there. Like, I don't belong in a cold land where people are so,
Cold.
That's the word.
Yeah.
Cold.
Yeah.
They will walk on the street to get away around you.
Yeah.
Like, that's just not normal. Whereas over here, everything is, you can't avoid people. You're not going on a bus or da-da-da-da. You have to sit next to somebody, or if someone's sitting on top of you, you know what I mean? You can't get away from people. And I think that's how we're supposed to be.
It's a beautiful thing. this video will literally turn into another video if we spend time on that. So I'm not even gonna get in that because I love it too. I mean, I've talked about this on other videos. I mean, when the experiences that we have on a day-to-day basis with how everyone is on top of each other, you just say there's been a lot of false flags from 2019 until this present moment because we all too close together for this stuff to be what many have said through the media, etc., for what they claim it to be. But another thing, you know, so many people have the feeling that they need to have tons of money. I don't know your pocketbook. I can't count your, you know, well, you don't have a wallet. I'm a man, but I can't count your pocketbook. But if she and I have never had this conversation, so this is fresh off the press, what's your response to those who saying, I don't have enough money? Especially give two answers, if you will. For the ones who can work online, they have that capability. And for those who may not, and they still say, I don't have enough money to make that transition. What's your response to this?
Those who work online, why aren't you here already? Like, you can work anywhere.
Okay.
Like, why would you stay in Europe? Like, why? I don't get that. Like, you can, oh my gosh, you can work from wherever. You could be like on the ferry going somewhere. You can be on the plane going somewhere. You can work anywhere. There are so many amazing places that you can like pitch up and have your base. So why would you choose over there? And those who don't have much money, well, a lot of things are cheaper here. Like, I think I worked out that I pay my dada, and this is better than an average wage. Like maybe £1.50 a day. Like, you don't need much. It can stretch. Like, the only thing it's going to cost is if you want to eat out like a European all the time and you want to like maintain that European lifestyle that's expensive, then
it's going to get expensive.
Of course, but if you're going to eat like a local and eat your beans and rice, then you can get a whole sack of rice. Like, you can get a whole sack of beans. That can last you months. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you can live here on a budget because it's cheaper. Rent is cheaper. The food is cheaper. Everything's cheaper. Maybe the internet's not cheaper.
No, it's not. I'm glad you said that. The internet is not cheaper.
No. But, I mean, then make yourself a budget and try and stick to that. And I'm sure you can over here. And have some ideas about ways you can make money. I mean, there was a Diaspora day the other day, and people were selling, like, you know, at market stalls. I saw people from the Diaspora selling, you know?
And that's the beauty of not being in such Western structured society. You don't have to have a permit, you know, and a license to sell everywhere and just to set up and start.
You even start
you
a
know,
shack or something, a beach shack or something.
You literally can. You can. A lot of people have done it. I've known diasporans. I'm not even just speaking of locals. I've known diasporas who have actually set up their shops, you know, on beaches and things of that nature. So
it's possible. Anything is possible. But, you know, if you doubt, I just ask for guidance. Like, ask somebody who you know, is over here. And people are generally willing to help other people, especially those that are back in the West that want to come over.
To that point, great point, because there are crooked people everywhere. There are quote unquote scammers everywhere. But ideally, when it comes to, we have a sense of, look, no one's really gonna, at least I'm one that by your vibrations and your energy, you attract what you give off of things of that nature, along with doing your due diligence. You know, you're not exempt from using your mind. But I say those things to say this, is that they're gonna look out because we know that we're all looking to accomplish the same thing. That's the beauty, by and large, all intents and purposes, of having that community, because we're all moving on the same vibration and frequency to a great degree. Again, you got bad apples everywhere, but there's a saying, you don't let one bad apple spoil the bunch, if you will. Exactly. So there are people who are going to say, listen, I can help you with that, or I know someone that knows someone. And then I haven't even touched on the locals. The locals are going to help. The locals love helping in any way they can, and that's been my experience all throughout Tanzania, no matter what part of Tanzania that you're in.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's my daughter's school teacher's like, we'll find you a place to live that's cheaper than what you're in, because we've got lots of parents who are landlords. I was like, oh cool, you know, like, it's just you just have to ask, or you just have to have a conversation. That's what it takes.
It takes that, and she and I can't express enough. I won't speak for her. I can't express enough how willing the locals will help you, and that's a whole nother conversation in and of itself. But I just put it like this: if you can't get help from a local, something's wrong with you.
Yeah.
Like you're giving off some real bad vibes, because they're gonna be more than willing to give you guidance and assist you. But then, like I said,
Do you know what? Even today, I got a phone call when I was in the Bajaji coming here, and I was like, "Who is this talking to me?" And it was a guy who had taken me to Shoppers in like shopping centre, like the supermarket, in a Bolt, and he was like, "I would like to help you learn Swahili," and I was like, "How much?" And he was like, "No, free." And I was like, "Really?" I was like, "Let's have this conversation later because I can hardly hear you."
Right.
And I was like, "Okay, maybe he wants English in return or something." But I was like, "Wow, look at that." He remembered me from like 3 days back. To be honest, I could not remember him. How many times I get into a Bajaji or a Bolt, But
that's another conversation. But while we're having these experiences, another thing I like in terms of them remembering stuff, there are restaurants that I can go to all throughout my visits in Tanzania, and I'm not lying to you. I'll be very conservative. At least 2 weeks can pass, and the waiter will remember exactly what I ordered.
Oh yeah, that's happened to me. As soon as I come, they're like, "Welcome back. We haven't seen you for a while."
Yeah.
It's really nice. Like it can be really nice.
Yeah.
Like, to have that experience. And you can go to a restaurant in the West, and they might even recognize you, but they're just as cold as us.
Yeah.
They're just like professionalism or whatever it is,
My main thing, even touching the ground or going from one city to the next or one place to the next, is can I get a karibu? Because I love just the welcoming in terms of
true.
like,
If you go anywhere, they're
everywhere
just
you go, the first thing they say is karibu.
Like, welcome.
Yeah.
And it's like, I love that. I do. I really do.
Oh yeah, I love that. I
I
love
had
that.
that today. Like when I went to go and get my feet done, and they were like, "Oh, Caribou, when are you bringing the girls?" And I'm like, "Oh, you remember my girls?" And they're like, "Yeah." And this is the hairdresser that does this girl. I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And it was like Caribou, yeah, it's cool.
But
It's cool.
I hope everyone enjoyed the video. I enjoyed it. And it was a good conversation. It just flowed. That was cool. It's not the first, second, or third cut. Well, it's the first cut. It's not the second and third cut. But I just really hope that this helps some people settle in, or at the end of the day, at least they have just another video to help them make a decision about, a more informed decision,
Definitely.
whatever it may be. But anything you want to say in closing?
The sunshine awaits.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, look, thank you for joining. Tuta Nana Badai. See you in the next video.